Hello and welcome back. In the last section, we looked at Auth0's implementation of Auth2 and OpenID Connect, which essentially allows us to seamlessly authenticate users and essentially allow them access to our application. All right. And the next thing we want to do here right now, and we also looked at how the token, the JWT token, is structured, which is returned as an ID token by Auth0 back to our application, and we looked at the constituents of the JWT token itself. And the next thing we want to do here is we want to actually build a profile page here for the logged in user. Again, this is only going to be visible when the user is logged in, and we're going to essentially build that. The page itself is not going to be very fancy, but it just tries to capture the user's information in a meaningful way. So let's go over to our editor, and inside of here I'm going to go ahead and close all these things. All right, close all, and over to the components here. Let's go over to the components, and inside the components I'm going to create another folder, and I'm going to in fact what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to Auth, create the profile here because they are kind of related to the Auth, right? So I'm going to say go ahead and create a profile folder, and inside of that I'm going to define a new component called profile.js. okay, and I'll go through the regular way of creating the function here, which is going to be an arrow function using the RAFC's shorthand, and in here import use Auth0 hook. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make use of the hook to get some information here, and one of them would be the user object itself, and it's not use Auth0, user object, and I'm going to say I'm going to get it from the use Auth0 hook. Okay, and actually if you look back here, the user itself has multiple attributes. The user has all these attributes, for example, name, picture, email verified, and all that stuff. So let's see, what we're going to do here, we can actually get the picture, I thought. So we'll go ahead and get the picture in order to represent that here. Okay. In case if there is no picture, you'll get some default gravatar that we can use. Okay, so let's restructure user now, and I'm going to go ahead and get the picture from there. Picture, yeah, and this is going to be coming from the user object. All right, and inside of here I'm going to go ahead and define a new method, and that's going to be called render profile. Okay, and this is going to be an arrow function. All right, and this is going to return. I'm going to use the concise syntax here because there is not a whole lot that we're doing, and in here I'm going to go ahead and return the layout. So let me go ahead and import the layout. Maybe we just do an auto import layout. Yeah, and so we have to go ahead and import it manually. Import layout. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and render the layout here. This is going to be layout. Okay, and it's going to have a title, of course, and I'm going to have a closing tag as well. I'm going to give the title as, let's say, profile information. Profile information. Yeah. Okay. And in here, and do we want the background? We'll kind of try that. Let's say we're going to say background is true. All right. Okay, super. And in here, I'm just going to go ahead and copy some JSX because it's not very complex. It's pretty straightforward, and it probably saves us some time in terms of typing the whole thing out. Let's go ahead and save this. So essentially it is creating two rows, I think. Yeah, one is item center, and then it's actually creating an image, and it's a class name of rounded circle, and finally another row which has all the information of the user object. Okay, all right. And let's go ahead and call this method in our return statement, right? And inside of the return here, what I'm going to do is get rid of this divs, and as I'm going to be using the empty React fragments, and let's say render profile here. That should work. Alright, so the component is ready, and we just have to make sure it's available on our navbar, right? Or for that matter, on our routes. So let's head over to the routes, and I'm going to go ahead and close this profile class and do Control B to collapse the sidebar. Let's go ahead and import profile from profile and /profile. Yeah, that's the one. I really like this tab 9 extension. It's very smart, you know. And in here, I'm going to essentially define a route for profile. Okay, and this is going to be / okay, I'm going to call it /me, and on the lines of Facebook, I suppose. Yeah, and component is going to be profile. Okay, all right, super. And let's see what we can do here. We'll head over back to now the navbar inside of layout folder, and the navbar folder, go ahead and into the navbar.js, and right after this particular block where I'm displaying the sign-in register, I'm going to define the profile here. Okay, so let me copy this particular piece of code. It's quite similar in nature. So right after this, I'm going to essentially say if a user is authenticated, I want to essentially have the profile information here. Okay, so for now, let me call it profile. All right, and then this is obviously going to be /me. Okay, and this is also going to be /me. Okay, super. So now then, this should be okay. And I think we also need a little bit of styling for so what we're going to do here is, instead of profile, we're going to say we will print the user's name himself. So for that to happen, we have to destructure the user object, right? So I'm going to say const user, and that's going to be coming from use Auth0. All right, okay, and I'm going to say go head over back to the profile li, and I'm going to say I'm going to print user.name. Okay, all right, super. So right now I don't think we're logged in, and I don't think we're logged in right now, are we? We are not. Oh, actually we're logged in. Okay, so the name is coming here. It's not pretty, so what we're going to do here is we're going to actually set some of the names here on the Auth0 platform. So let's say if I sign out, I think that should be also not visible. Yeah, it's not visible. Okay, so let me head over to the Auth0 platform. I'll go over to user management now, go to the users, and select this particular user, and I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of changes in terms of the name here. Okay, right now the email and the name are both kind of the same. So let's go ahead and say, I'm going to say this is Jane. All right, and let's see if there is anything else that we can change here. Email will be the same, obviously, and do we have any user metadata or something like that? Not really. Yeah. This is the Cravatar, this is the user ID, and that is essentially generated by Auth0 platform. Okay, and that's the logins count, the number of logins that this user has done, and it's happened from this particular IP. So a lot of interesting data there, okay, from a security angle. All right, so now coming back to our app in here, if I sign in now, it should actually show up as Jane, okay, on the profile tab. Yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to kind of provide some additional styling here in order to make sure this is actually a profile page. So let me go ahead and minimize this so that we can see the changes as they happen. That should be enough, and I'm gonna collapse the sidebar. Alright, and let me head over to the profile section. It's right next to our sign in and sign up. Okay, inside here I'm going to essentially provide some styling to the username, and let me go ahead and put that styling in here and create a span element here. Okay, so that I can actually provide some special styling to the username. Okay, and in here I will have some inline styling. Give it in double braces. That's generally required for React elements. And what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to have a background here. I'm going to say background, and this is going to be where -navy. Alright, and I'll also give the color as white, so it actually shows up right now. Color and the background are both navy, so it doesn't show up the way that we want. Okay, I'll say comma color, and this is going to be inside of quotes, and it's going to be where, not secondary, it has to be primary. I think the extension is being extra smart here. Alright, let's see. Alright, that shows up. Super. And what else can we do here? We can also give some padding. Okay, padding. Alright, let's say 5px vertically. Okay, 5px vertically. Yep, and we can also give some horizontal padding here. Let's say 10px. Okay, not sure that actually helps. Maybe 20px. Let's give it 20px. Yeah, not bad. Okay, and let's also give it a border radius. Alright, it gives it a kind of a rounded edges there. Border radius. Yeah, and let's start with 5px. Alright, not bad. About 10px. Let's try 15. Yeah, this is better. I think it gives some kind of a pill kind of shape. So yeah, this is better. Okay, super. And what else can we give? Well, probably, I think font weight is already bold, so let's check that. I believe it's already bold. Font weight. Font is Roberto condensed. Let me try that. Maybe it might give us some interesting clues there. So I'm going to say font weight. Okay, bold, super. No effect, is that? Yeah, actually it is bold right now, I hope. Yeah, it does say font weight is bold. Okay, alright, so I think this is looking good, guys. Pretty nice actually. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do here is actually see if it shows what information it shows in case you click here. Okay, so it actually gives I think this is the nickname. I don't know what this is. I think let's go back to the code. It actually circled. So let me go back to the code. fe_indie cafe. Go back to the profile information. Where is the profile? Must be under auth. Profile.js. Okay, that's the picture. Okay, alright. The initials, alright. And the nickname is this. I'm not sure I could actually change this. I could go ahead and change the name, but the nickname is necessarily not present here in any shape or form. Okay, if I go to the raw JSON, I don't think the nickname is here. The nickname is here, but I don't think I can change this. Yeah, you cannot. Alright. Yeah, only the details page. If the nickname is here, I don't see that anyway. Alright, so we have our profile page ready, and it looks pretty okay actually, not bad at all. And the profile information, probably we can have a different color for this one. Maybe not, because the background is already white, so it may not really stand out. Alright, so we are looking pretty nice here. Okay, so we're able to access the cart page, the browse page, and the user page. And let's say you sign out, your profile information goes away. Super, so I think we should be good here. Let's see if we can do something more. So the next task is for us to actually capture the user information, and some of the information, not all, would be interested in, let's say, the email and also the sub attribute, right? Anything that comes after Auth0 will be essentially storing it in our database, and that'll allow us to track user orders, right? And let's say user payments, as well as fulfilling the orders. In case there are cancellations, we can also use this to do refunds and maintain those and states after the payments inside of our database. Okay, next thing is to actually capture this information and put this in the database. I think we'll take a brief pause here and come back and continue that work.